date today?
19th.
I think it is.
Huh. I left my phone in the car.
Yeah.
Nope.
Sunday, April 19th. So here's a place where I always stack rocks, and haven't been out here since last year. And this isn't how they were left last year, but yeah, you can't rule out people. But I'll have to go back and look at my video. But last time I was out here, I had this stacked up pretty good.
I ain't sure where it came from. Something's behind us, isn't it?
Yeah, it's deep though. It sounds like he's behind us though.
Flood?
Yeah. I've never seen it flood down here, but I would imagine. I don't know. You never know, man. I mean, it looks kind of put together, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Hard to say though. I mean, in a spot like this, you never.
You'd think you'd see more stuff, like signs of floods.
Is that what I heard a while ago?
No. I heard what you were talking about. I don't know stuff.
That was kind of weird. It does. Alright, so we're in this little valley, this little holler that runs down through my area. We got Matt Martson out with me finally. But we came across this, whatever you want to call it. And first thing we thought, of course, was flood water. So there are some creeks that run down through this area, and this little valley could flood at some point, but I know since last year it hasn't flooded, and if it had, everything would be on this side of the tree because that way is running downhill. Water doesn't run uphill and push sticks into trees uphill, so everything would be on this side, which is not the case. Hard to say that that happened on its own. Can't say what did it, but
I mean, that's that. This tree's dead, but Like all the limbs are like right here. There's like none scattered around like on the ground really.
Yeah, no, it's clean all the way around the tree.
There's a couple.
That's what it was. That's what we heard.
What was it? That's her baby.
Yeah.
What was it?
I forget what they're called.
Grouse or something?
Yeah. But anyway,
I thought grouse. I thought so.
cool little structure, or whatever you want to call it. And we'll move on. So here's just a spot where I've had some weird stuff go down. Had these broken limbs right here. Last year we're doing this crazy balancing act, and when Robin Roberts and her husband came out, it was down, and we found a lot of tracks and stuff out here. So my first time back out, so I'm just trying to establish a baseline, and wanted to check this and make sure that it was still down. But I have skewered an orange right there, about, what is that, about 8 foot?
Yeah.
So a deer's not going to be able to stand up and reach that. Coon, maybe. You know, any tree animal is going to be able to come down and nibble on it, but only a coon is going to be able to pull that off. And if so, we should find remnants of the peel, you would think. But we'll see next weekend when I come back out. See if that orange is still there. We'll strategically place a couple more. Yeah, might as well.
One runs in front of us, so how videos of it.
Sometimes I cut it through there. I don't worry about that today though. See bent over trees out here everywhere. I think it's thick enough though that they're all natural for the most part.
Pretty thick wood.
Yeah. That's horseshoe. See what the It could just be suggestive thinking, huh? Right? I mean, doesn't it look like an indentation there, right there. Like a right hand, thumb, finger, finger, finger. It'd be huge if it was.
Yeah.
Lots of runoff this year. All the areas that I typically find prints have been washed out. I'd hope to find some prints out here in this spot right down to my right. But it's all been completely washed out and there's nothing. Found a couple possibles that have had water running through them, so all the detail is gone, so I had to write it off, which is no big deal. Sometimes it's better to write it off than to force the issue and consider it something that it may not be. Anyway, we just want to give a little view of where I'm at today. And this hill right here has had a lot of stuff happen. There's a few new things up here I'm not going to talk about right now that I may discuss in a later video. But for the most part today, it's been uneventful, other than finding a few possible tracks and a possible structure in the ravine underneath the cliff that I run down. It is beautiful out here. It's a beautiful morning. It's like 60 degrees, so it's really, really nice. Matt Martson's down the hill right now, scoping out some other stuff. I'm going to run up this hill, check out a few structures that were here last year, that appeared last year, and see if they've changed, see if they're even still there. If they are, I'll video them and compare them to what was there last year, last time I was out. And if not, then I won't waste my time. But that's where I'm going. I'm going to turn the camera off so you don't hear me breathing hard, and we'll see what happens. OzarkMountainSasquatch. Alright, so I'm just making my way up this hill. I got a spot over that way that I need to get to, and then back up that way. So, just gotta stop and breathe for a second. Not really hearing much other than birds. Some cool little mushrooms. Never seen those before. If anybody could tell me what that is, be much appreciated. This looks like a pretty good indentation. We may have something here. Looks like the heel starts right here. Goes up and 1, 2, 3, 4. I only see 4 toes, but it's pretty large. There's my foot next to it. I think we may have a track. It's going up this direction. Not seeing anything else right away. Come back down and look at this again. I'm gonna have to get Matt up here to look at this. I knocked a leaf into it. I'm gonna get Matt up here to look at this. That looks like a damn print. Right here's the heel, toes. And it comes down right there. That is not bad. I'm gonna shut this off for a minute and see if I can't get Matt up here to look at this. See what he thinks. We may have a decent print on our hands right there. OzarkMountainSasquatch. Alright, so I hollered at Matt. He's gonna make his way up here momentarily. But here's what I found. Here's a heel. Looks like toe prints. Big toe right there, so that'd be the right foot. It's pretty big. And it's headed up that direction. So I'm gonna make my way up here and be careful and see if I can't find any more. So it's right there. This looks a little torn up. Oh, here's another one. Right here. Heel, toes. Pull some of this stuff out so I can see a little better. That rock's been smashed down to the ground. This is hard ground here. That is completely smashed. So there's that one. And the other one's right down there. So I'm gonna walk out to the side. Here's another possible. Right here. It's smashed down. Not as well defined, but it's definitely flat, and this stuff's been smashed down in the ground. So there's one. There's two. And let's see. Here's another spot. This smashed and compressed. Let me stay out of the line of this. So it's going straight like that direction. Come back down and look at this again. So here is one straight line. There is one. There is an indentation. And now if I walk these off, from toe to the next one, we're talking, dude, there, possibly, right there. Yeah. I'm going to show these to Matt and we'll go over these again. Alright, say hi, Matt.
Hi.
So Matt made it up here.
Barely.
So, found a possible trackway. I'm going to video this again. Matt's videoing it. But we got what looks to be a heel here. Goes up. This would be the big toe. Smaller toes. My hand is in the heel right now. So, it's wider than my hand. Not bad, actually. Yeah, it's hard to. You almost got to get different angles.
Yeah. You know, somebody's telling me, Shelly, that it's better to move than to use stills.
Yeah. Alright, so we're out here in our spot. We've been looking, didn't find much today. We finally got over this hill area that I like to come to and find tracks, but usually when we find tracks, it's down here along this little gully. It's always muddy, and I typically find one or two there every few weeks. Occasionally up the hill I find areas that are smashed, but this is probably the best one up the hill that I found as far as definition. We got toes, the heels down here. We're guesstimating about 13 to 14 inches going off of this. So it's headed up this direction. So we looked around a little bit. Right there's the first print that we found. And as we come up through here, we also noticed this impression, which is actually longer, what'd you say? About 15 probably?
At least 14.
14, 15 maybe.
This one starts right now, it's like an inch longer or more.
Okay. So you can definitely see some possible toe indentation. I just knocked that rock off in there. A possible toe indentation. Here's the heel. And then you come up here, and here is another. And actually, this actually does look like the left foot here. Big toe here. And then if you come on up here, it's another indentation here. It looks like the possible heel was actually down here, but this drops off. So the last of the compression was here. Looks like left toe, or I'm sorry, right. That's the right foot. That would be the big toe. We scouted on up here. Didn't really see anything else. But when you look at these, you got track, almost in a straight line. And if I can get Matt up here, I'm going to try to step from one track to the other. Let's do this. Okay, so here's the first track. I can barely get my toes to the heel of the next one, and we're going uphill. So this would be impossible for me or Matt to do, or any other person for that matter. So you got track 1, 2, 3. And they actually look about about the same distance apart. We failed to bring a tape measure with us today, but there's one, there's two. You can see the distance here. See if I can get this to set up on its own, and I'll kind of give you a broader picture of what's going on here. So we got track 1, track 2. And this one you can actually see toes be the right foot. The next one's left, and then the next one's right. So we're looking, trying to figure it out. OzarkMountainSasquatch. So
Okay, we got our red light.
yeah, we're good. So here's the first track. Here's the possible second. Here's the possible third. So we're gonna look at stride comparison. So I go heel to heel with this one. Remind you, we're going uphill. That's a full stretch for me, and I'm just getting to the heel, where the heel would be on this one. So that's going to be nearly impossible. And second to third, which is up there.
It's about the exact same distance.
Exact same distance. I'm actually having to get off my heel now. And here's the other one. Actually, I think the heel of this one is probably back here, but the ground slopes down. As you can see, the compression starts right here. And back here is nothing. It's almost like toes are right here, and the heel may have been back here. Of course, the heel may not have touched going uphill. But you can clearly see where the heel is on this one. On this one. So that's a big stride.
About 4 feet going uphill. That's about 4 foot, ain't it?
That's a little over 5 foot. I am 5'8", and that should be about my arm length. My arm's a little longer than that, so that's probably about 5.5, 5'4" stride, which is impossible going uphill for us. Absolutely. Anyway. Let's see. So there's 1, 5 foot up, 2, 5 foot up, 3.
Exactly. If you want to get an exact measurement, you could set one of our monopods to that length and measure it when we get home.
We can. Matt Marston's full of great ideas. So, we'll get an exact measurement from heel to heel. We'll mark it on one of our monopods, and we'll measure that off when we get to the house, and we'll throw that in later on. OzarkMountainSasquatch. So we're right up from, what was there, 4 tracks down there?
Yeah, 4 total.
And up and to the left, Matt found this spot. Got a line here, 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 here. I'm not seeing a 4th one.